Today, I'll show you 5 specific ways to test a woman's loyalty that maintain your high-value position, increase rather than decrease attraction, and reveal definitive information about whether she's genuinely capable of the commitment and loyalty required for a serious relationship. These methods work because they're grounded in female psychology and the universal truth that women commit to men they respect, and respect flows from strength, boundaries, and standards, not from pursuit, availability, and neediness. Before we start, hit the hype button, subscribe, and drop a comment if you've ever pursued commitment from someone who didn't deserve it, and drop your city or country below. Let's see where this message reaches around the world. Method 1. Create scarcity of your time and attention. The test is simple but powerful. Reduce your availability and see how she responds. Stop being constantly available. Don't respond to every text immediately. Don't be free every time she wants to see you. Create gaps in your attention and availability that require her to pursue, initiate, and demonstrate active interest rather than you always being the one pursuing and initiating. Why this tests? Loyalty. A woman genuinely interested in commitment will pursue when you create space. She'll initiate contact, make plans, express concern about the reduced connection, and actively work to maintain and strengthen the bond. A woman who's not genuinely invested will either not notice your reduced availability because she has other options occupying her attention, or she'll be relieved by the space because it allows her to pursue those other options more freely. This test reveals who's investing in you versus who's simply enjoying your investment in them. If your reduced pursuit and availability causes the relationship to stall or fade, she was never genuinely invested. She was enjoying your attention and effort without reciprocating real interest or commitment. If she responds by increasing her pursuit and investment, you've confirmed genuine interest that can form the foundation for commitment. The psychology behind it. This works because of several psychological principles. First, scarcity increases perceived value. What's less available becomes more desirable to people genuinely interested. Second, it forces her to demonstrate active interest rather than passive reception of your pursuit. Third, it reveals her true investment level. People fight to maintain connections they value and let connections they don't value fade naturally. For women specifically, this test is particularly revealing because female attraction includes respect, and respect flows from strength and standards. A man who's always available, always pursuing, always working for her attention, appears low value and desperate. Creating scarcity demonstrates you have options, standards, and a life that doesn't revolve around her, which actually increases attraction while simultaneously testing her genuine interest level. How to implement without losing respect. The key is authentic busyness and life investment, not petty game playing. Actually invest in your career, hobbies, friendships, and personal development so your reduced availability is genuine, not manufactured. When you are unavailable, don't explain excessively or apologize. Simply communicate your plans naturally. I've got plans with the guys tonight, or I'm focused on this work project this week. Notice her response carefully. Does she accept your life and boundaries while showing interest in staying connected? Does she initiate plans around your schedule? Does she express genuine curiosity about your life and interests? Or does she become demanding, accusatory, or simply disappear? Her response tells you everything about whether she's capable of respecting your independence while maintaining genuine interest in building something together. Warning: don't use this method to play games or punish her. The goal is genuine scarcity from living a full life and maintaining standards, not manufactured absence to manipulate emotions. Women sense the difference between a man with genuine busyness and standards versus a man playing games, and only the former maintains respect. Method 2. Set clear boundaries and watch her response. Establish explicit boundaries about behavior you won't tolerate. Whether it's excessive contact with exes, attention-seeking behavior on social media, disrespectful treatment, or anything else important to you. State these boundaries clearly, calmly, and unapologetically. Then watch carefully how she responds to those boundaries, both immediately and over time. Why this tests loyalty? A woman capable of genuine commitment respects clearly stated boundaries, even if she doesn't fully agree with all of them. She recognizes boundaries as self-respect rather than control, and she modifies her behavior accordingly because she values the relationship and respects your standards. A woman incapable of commitment will either immediately reject boundaries as controlling, deliberately violate them to test your enforcement, or agree to them, then ignore them while hiding violations. This test reveals whether she respects you and your standards, whether she's capable of modifying behavior for relationship health, and whether she values the relationship enough to honor your explicitly stated needs. Her response to boundaries is direct insight into how she'll handle commitment. If she can't respect boundaries during dating, she won't maintain loyalty in exclusive commitment. The psychology behind it: boundaries work as loyalty tests because they separate women who respect strength from women who exploit weakness. Women attracted to strong, high-value men respect boundaries because boundaries demonstrate self-respect, standards, and willingness to walk away if those standards aren't met. Women attracted to weakness or seeking men to control and manipulate resist boundaries because boundaries limit their ability to behave however they want without consequences. Additionally, boundaries create clarity about expectations and values, removing ambiguity about what constitutes acceptable behavior. A woman genuinely interested in building something with you will appreciate that clarity because it helps her understand and meet your needs. A woman keeping options open or not seriously interested resents boundaries because they constrain her ability to maintain other connections or behave in ways that serve her interests over relationship health. How to implement without losing respect. State boundaries clearly, calmly, and matter-of-factly without anger, accusation, or excessive explanation. Use I statements. I don't date women who maintain close relationships with exes, not, you can't talk to your ex. Frame boundaries as your standards, not rules you're imposing on her. She's free to make her choices, but you're clear about what behaviors are compatible with dating you. Don't negotiate boundaries or accept incremental violations. If a boundary is important enough to state, it's important enough to enforce. If she violates a stated boundary, follow through with consequences. Reduced investment at minimum, walking away if the violation is significant. Your willingness to enforce boundaries demonstrates their genuine standards, not empty threats. Watch not just immediate compliance, but sustained respect over time. Some women will comply initially to secure commitment, then gradually push boundaries once they feel secure. Sustained boundary respect over months reveals genuine character versus temporary compliance for strategic purposes. Method 3. Observe how she treats others and handles adversity. Pay close attention to how she treats people who can't benefit her. Waiters, service workers, people she perceives as lower status. Notice how she handles situations where she doesn't get her way or faces genuine challenges. Watch how she speaks about ex-partners, former friends, and people she's had conflicts with. These observations reveal character that will eventually be directed toward you once the initial honeymoon phase fades. Why this tests loyalty. How someone treats others when they think it doesn't matter reveals their true character. She's on her best behavior with you during early dating because you represent something she wants: validation, relationship, resources, whatever. But how she treats people who can't benefit her shows who she actually is beneath the performance. Eventually, you'll transition from someone she's trying to impress to someone she has secured, and her treatment of you will align with how she treats everyone else. Additionally, how she handles adversity reveals emotional regulation, coping mechanisms, and whether she takes accountability or blames others. These characteristics directly predict how she'll handle relationship challenges. If she can't handle small adversities with grace, she won't handle major relationship challenges constructively. If she blames everyone else for problems, she'll blame you when relationship difficulties arise. The psychology behind it. This observation method works because people reveal true character in unguarded moments, with people they don't think matter. She's actively managing impression with you, but not with the waitress or the customer service representative. Those unmanaged interactions show authentic personality and values and behavioral patterns. Specifically regarding loyalty, notice if she demonstrates entitlement, expectation of special treatment, disrespect for others, inability to handle frustration constructively, or patterns of blaming others rather than taking accountability. These traits strongly predict inability to maintain healthy, committed relationships because commitment requires managing frustration, accepting responsibility, treating partners respectfully even during conflict, and functioning without entitlement mentality. How to implement. Without losing respect, simply observe during normal activities and interactions. You're not conducting an investigation. You're paying attention to naturally occurring situations. When you're out together, notice how she speaks to service staff. When plans change or something goes wrong, notice how she handles the frustration. When she tells stories about past relationships or conflicts, notice whether she takes any accountability or positions herself exclusively as victim. Don't judge single incidents harshly. Everyone has bad days. Look for patterns across multiple situations and contexts. Consistent patterns reveal character. One instance of frustration with a rude waiter is understandable. Consistent patterns of treating service workers disrespectfully reveals character that will eventually treat you the same way. Use this information to make decisions about whether to continue investing. If observation reveals character inconsistent with loyalty, respect, or healthy relationship capacity, reduce investment accordingly. If observation confirms positive character traits, it's one more green light supporting deeper commitment. Method 4. Introduce her to your social circle and watch integration. Bring her around your friends, family, and social circle relatively early. Pay attention to how she interacts with people important to you, whether she makes effort to connect with them, how she speaks about them afterward, and whether she encourages your existing relationships or subtly works to distance you from them. Why this tests loyalty? A woman interested in genuine partnership integrates positively into your existing life. She makes effort with your friends and family, respects their importance to you, and encourages those relationships. A woman with ulterior motives or loyalty issues will either show disinterest in people important to you, attempt to isolate you from them, or create drama and conflict that forces you to choose between her and your support system. This test also reveals what your trusted circle perceives. Your friends and family aren't emotionally invested in her the way you are, so they can see red flags and manipulations you might miss through the fog of attraction. Their observations and gut reactions about her provide valuable external perspective, and her reaction to them reveals whether she values your judgment and relationships or sees them as competition for attention and influence. The psychology behind it. Integration matters because isolation is a classic control tactic. Women who plan to manipulate, control, or be unfaithful start by separating you from people who might notice concerning behavior or provide alternative perspectives. They create conflict with your friends and family, demand excessive couple time that prevents maintaining other relationships, or criticize people close to you until you distance yourself to avoid the conflict. Additionally, How she treats people you care about reveals respect for you. Disrespecting your friends or family while expecting you to maintain the relationship with her demonstrates that her needs take priority over yours, that she doesn't respect your judgment about people, and that she's willing to make you choose between her and existing relationships. All red flags for healthy commitment. How to implement without losing respect. Don't make this introduction feel like a test or performance evaluation. Naturally include her in group settings where your friends or family will be present. Watch without being obvious about it. You're observing, not conducting an interrogation. Pay attention to several things. Does she make genuine effort to connect with people you care about? Is she respectful and interested in them, even though they can't benefit her directly? Does she speak positively about them afterward? Does she encourage you maintaining those relationships? Or does she criticize them, create reasons why you shouldn't spend time with them, demand exclusive couple time, or express jealousy of time spent with others? Also listen to feedback from people who know and care about you. Ask trusted friends or family members directly. What did you think of her? And actually listen to their impressions. They're not blinded by attraction, and they want what's best for you, so their gut reactions carry weight. If multiple people you trust have reservations, take that seriously regardless of your feelings. Method 5. Test through strategic transparency about your standards. Communicate openly about what you're looking for, what commitment means to you, what behaviors you consider deal breakers, and what kind of relationship you're building toward. Be transparent about your standards, expectations, and vision for partnership. Then observe carefully whether her behavior aligns with the values and standards you've clearly communicated, or whether she talks supportively but acts differently. Why this tests loyalty. This test separates women who genuinely share your values from women who will say whatever you want to hear while behaving according to their actual values. Many women will verbally agree with your stated standards and expectations because they want to secure commitment, but their behavior reveals whether those are actual values or just things she knows you want to hear. A woman genuinely compatible for committed partnership will naturally align her behavior with stated values, because those are her authentic values too. A woman just performing for your benefit will show disconnects between stated agreement and actual behavior. She'll agree that loyalty is important, then maintain inappropriate relationships. She'll agree respect is essential, then disrespect you accidentally in small ways. The gap between stated values and demonstrated behavior reveals authenticity. The psychology behind it. This works because behavioral consistency with stated values reveals authentic character. It's easy to say you value loyalty, respect, and commitment. It's much harder to consistently demonstrate those values through behavior, especially when doing so requires sacrifice, boundaries, or going against impulses. Additionally, this transparency gives her clear understanding of your standards, while establishing that you have standards and will enforce them. Women respect men with clear standards more than men who accept anything. By articulating your expectations and vision, you're demonstrating self-knowledge, boundaries, and willingness to walk away if standards aren't met. All highly attractive qualities that paradoxically increase her desire to meet those standards. How to implement without losing respect. Have this conversation naturally, not as a formal relationship interrogation. During discussions about relationships, past experiences, or future plans, share authentically what you're looking for and what matters to you. Don't demand she agree or comply. Simply share your perspective and standards. For example, I really value loyalty. I've seen too many friends go through betrayal, and it's not something I'm interested in experiencing. For me, committed relationship means being each other's priority, not maintaining backup options or inappropriate connections with exes. That's just how I view commitment. This communication isn't an ultimatum or demand. It's transparent sharing of your values and standards. Her response, both verbal and behavioral, reveals compatibility. Does she enthusiastically agree and demonstrate alignment through behavior? Does she agree verbally, but behave differently? Does she push back on standards, calling them controlling or unrealistic? Each response provides valuable information. After communicating standards, observe behavior over time. Does she naturally demonstrate the values you discussed? Does she establish boundaries in her own life that align with commitment to you? Or does she continue maintaining connections, behaviors, or situations incompatible with what you've clearly communicated matters to you? The disconnect between stated agreement and actual behavior is the ultimate loyalty test. Words are easy. Behavior, especially sustained behavior over time, reveals truth. If someone agrees with your standards but doesn't live by them, they're telling you what you want to hear while living according to their actual values, which differ from what they're claiming. If testing reveals she pursues when you create space, respects your boundaries, demonstrates positive character consistently, integrates well with your circle, and aligns behavior with stated values, you've confirmed green light suggesting she's potentially worthy of your commitment. From that foundation of demonstrated loyalty and compatibility, commitment becomes a strategic choice based on evidence rather than hope, feelings, or words alone.